Oh, my goodness.
No, as a matter of fact, I could help the benefit, you know?
Skip the patter and tell me what's wrong. What is happening to you, and what does this house have to do with it? Isn't this your father's garden?
My father's garden. Wasn't that a play about 10, 20 years ago? No, it was... I have always lived in the garden. Albie.
I mean, your father worked here the entire time you were growing up. I mean, when you come back, how can you not be reminded of it?
I'll tell you what. You write it up, and you put it in a psychiatric journal.
You feel his presence. That's understandable.
It's always the easy way for you, isn't it, Edmund? That's why gardening's not good enough for you.
The old man would have a spasm if he saw this place now.
Why?
Well, it's gone to seed.
I think it's beautiful.
Yeah, well, that's because you're not a perfectionist.
Oh, I see. Things had to be perfect to satisfy your father?
Well, you know, the gardens at Versailles, they were just a little too freeform for him.
He wanted perfect order, huh?
Mm-hmm. You could say that. You'd be understating it.
Did he impose his sense of order on everything?
Yeah, he was good at his job, Brooke.
It's no wonder you can't see the nose in front of your face. You never take it out of a book. You're just like your mother. You're a mama's boy.
Look, get out of here, right? Gotta go.
What for?
I gotta go to the office. I got a copy deadline, and I have a boss that's a tyrant.
You have a boss who's a dream to work with, and you turned in your story last night. I already signed it off. You don't want to talk about your father, do you?
2 points for Sherlock.
Is there anybody who was kind to you? I mean, anybody who understood?
Well, you know, the whole house was filled with help, but alas, Brooke, there was no staff psychologist.
You know what I'm asking you? Was there anybody who understood what you were going through? There was, wasn't there? It was Angelique.
She was my partner in crime.
In crime?
Yeah, crimes against the established order. You know, servants' kids, they're supposed to be very quiet, obedient, grateful.
That wasn't you, was it?
Wasn't Angelique either.
So the two of you commiserated, right?
Yeah, we kind of had a bond formed, I don't know, from shame.
Shame?
Well, watching your parents grovel tends to do that to you, you know? My father was a world-class groveler. Helga ran a close second. So we used to actually turn it into a comedy routine. Alf, the groveling gardener, he bows, he scrapes, he licks their shoes.
So your father was one way with the Merricks and another way with you.
Well, compared to Alf Gresham, galley slaves were rebellious.
And your mother, was she submissive too?
My mother, oh, what could she do, you know? I mean, she's like a scared rabbit staring down a pack of wolves.
So Angelique was the only one who knew what you were going through.
Look, can we just get out of here?
Why? Because you don't want to tell me about your childhood?
What do you want to hear, Brooke? You want to hear the exact technique that my father used to kiss the Merrick's boots?
I want to know about you.
You want to hear about how he used to come home after fawning over Dimitri and just beat the crap out of my mother and me? Is that enough, Brooke? Have we bonded?
Your father.
My father was an angry man.
Did he know how you felt about him? I mean, obviously you didn't respect him. Maybe he was ashamed of what he did for a living. Maybe that's where some of that rage came from.
Well, that's a nice try, Doc, okay? But it didn't have anything to do with the class system. He just hated me. You understand? He hated everything about me. The way that I walked, the way that I talked, the way that I gardened.
What is the matter with you? Is it this house? Is it us?
What the hell are you making an issue out of this for?
You're the one who makes an issue. All right, every time something comes up about your past, it's like this shield comes up and it shuts me out, and I hate it.
Yeah? Well, I hate talking about my childhood, all right? It was a bunch of muck. My whole childhood was like that. I can't make it any clearer to you.
What is so terrible about being intimate?
Intimate? That's another one of those words. Brooke, we are intimate.
Yeah, we're intimate in bed. I want to know you. I want to know the whole you. I want to know the you that Angelique knows. Why can't I?
Oh, I see. You want me to dredge up my childhood pain so that you don't have to be jealous of Angelique?
I'm not jealous of anybody. You say you love me, and I believe you. And I love you, too. And that's why I'm trying to understand you. And that's why I wanted to be able to share.
Share. No. Remember, right from the beginning, share. No sharing. We had an agreement, all right? You want to dredge up some crud, you go someplace else.
I should go someplace else? Like where?
Yeah, like out of my life.
This is a new side of you, something I've never seen before.
Yeah, well, you know what they say, like father, like son.
Well, you can find your own way back to town. Or not. No. Something is torturing him. Something terrible from his childhood, and he can't even face it himself, let alone try and explain it to me or let me try and help him. He's hopeless. Unwilling. Nobody is hopeless.
Especially not Edmund.
Angelique, what happened? I mean, what is so terrible from the past that still has this death grip on him? You know, dysfunctional families, I think you could say that maybe to a certain extent about all of us. You could make that case, but it's something more with Edmund. It's bigger. It's something I can't put my finger on.
I've often wondered if we were different because of Wildwood. You know, living here, always being a part of it, but separate.
Servants, children, I thought about that too, the whole class thing growing up around privilege.
Well, watching Dimitri grow up.
Comparing.
Well, Edmund compared everything. Dimitri's prep school wardrobe, his Christmas presents, his Easter basket, his ponies, his dogs, the boat he kept down on the river. Dimitri had everything, and Edmund's father didn't believe in gift-giving. Christmas in that house was like any other day. I mean, there was food, but no feast. There was discipline, but no love. They never even touched each other except in anger. Alfred beat Flora a lot. He was very cruel, Brooke. Especially after she died.
And that was when Edmund left.
Yes. Alfred died alone. And Edmund never came back or made contact until now.
Because of you.
It's not easy loving a man who's fighting demons, is it?
It's one step forward and 4 steps back.
Do you remember that night you gave me a ride home from Trevor and Natalie's wedding, and I said to you that Edmund required some time and a lot of patience?
I have a limited supply.
Well, he is worth the effort.
Maybe.
He is.
I guess it's a decision I'm just going to have to make on my own. My aunt's babysitting, so I'm going to have to get back. But thank you, for talking to me. I think it's helped me a little bit.
I hope so.
Goodbye, Angelique.
Goodbye.
Shh. Jamie's asleep, bless his little angel heart.
Oh, dear. You look sort of battle-worn.
Thank you so much.
Have you been at war?
Oh, I'm always at war.
Well, a Tempo magazine, I could understand that, but please tell me not with my dear Edmund.
No. No. A good knockdown, drag-out fight with your dear Edmund might solve something. No, we're adults. We're in control. We keep a tight lid on anything that we feel. And if something bothers us, we just screw that lid on just a little tighter.
Mercy.
Look, never mind, all right? Never mind. He's got his problems. I have enough of my own. I don't need his.
You didn't tell him never to darken your door again, I hope.
I am exhausted, Aunt Phoebe. I am a full-time working mother. I am not ready to commit to a relationship.
Huh.
What?
I said ha, meaning bull feathers.
Okay,
That put it politely.
fine. All right, I admit it. I would love to commit to a relationship, but a good relationship, a healthy relationship with a man who is not complicated.
Darling, that man doesn't exist.
All right, somebody who is not difficult.
The word man and difficult just seem to belong together.
All right, fine, fine. You're 100% on the level as usual, but at this point in time, no thank you.
Brooke English, if you have screwed this up, I'll never forgive you. I mean, you're acting middle-aged, stodgy.
Well, thank you so much.
Whatever happened to Brooke, the blithe spirit? That outrageous young woman whose life-enhancing, embracing, try-it-on-for-size behavior drove me insane with worry.
She grew up.
No, she gave up.
She wised up.
She dried up.
Edmund Gray is bad news.
No, a self-imposed exile from life, that's what's bad news. Oh, don't quit, darling. I mean, face this challenge head on. The man hasn't been born yet who's too difficult for Brooke English. Remember that and fight. Fight to win. Give that young man a run for his money. And if that sounds like a lecture, c'est la vie. C'est l'amour.
Good night, Aunt Phoebe.
Oh, dear. Oh. Listen, think about what I've said.
Give Langley my love, all right?
Yes, I will. Good night, darling. And courage.